Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Steve. I'm a eBay reseller, full-time now. I was part-time. I lost my job at the beginning of the year, so I've been giving it a run and doing this full-time. What I want to talk to you guys about today was my May sales, which were very disappointing. I'll go over the reasons why, and then just some of the things that I'm doing here in June and going forward to try to correct what went wrong and have better sales. So let's get right into it. So as you can see on this super professional and very detailed graph, my sales took a hit from April to May. Basically you see a pretty good drop there, like 4,300 in April down to like 3,600 in May. So what drove that primarily was in May I got pretty sick for about 10 days or so, sort of knocked out on the couch, and then even after those 10 days took a little bit to feel myself again. So during that time that I was down, I was still shipping, thankfully, to not kill my metrics, but for the most part, hardly any listings were going up. So that was obviously a problem. So doing this pretty much as a one-man show, I do my listings pretty much just in time, right? I'm listing things, today, that I've just photographed and that sort of thing. So, I don't have a big backlog of things that are just ready for me to put up. So during that time, during those 10 days, I really took a hit because of not having new stuff to put up, right? I wasn't up to, taking the pictures. I didn't have much inventory here anyway because, obviously I wasn't outsourcing. So, those combination of things really, really hurt me here. Another issue I had, so typically, as I'm listing new inventory, I've had this part-time store for a while, right? So there's a decent amount of inventory here that, I wouldn't pick up again, let's say, that I'm selling through some older stuff. So as I buy new and better inventory, that's the majority of what I sell, right? With some other, the older stuff sprinkled in, that I have on markdown sales and that sort of thing. But during this period in May, I was selling more of that older, sort of lower price stuff, which also hurt because it drove down my average sale price and my profit per item. So all that stuff, basically every metric you can think of was down. The top line sales, the orders were down, the average sale price was down, the profit per item was down. It just all fed into each other to give the results that I got. And then the last thing, and I don't want to make this too much of a crutch, but we are heading into the summer slowdown area for eBay. So we're sort of through the the first quarter, where you still have the carryover from Christmas, and you have tax season, refunds coming in, that sort of thing. So once you hit sort of May, June, maybe some of July, that's sort of the dog days of summer. Where the platform slows down a bit. For some people don't experience any slowdown at all. Others do. But I think a little bit of May may have been a little bit of a slower month anyway. But then when the other things compounded, that's when it really, really took the hit that it did. So as a result of, there's really three takeaways I took. That I want to implement here going forward, and then I've started to implement here in June. The first being the draft bank. So I got to build up the draft bank. This is something I feel is pretty universal. I mean, I'm a one man show, so if I don't do it, it's not really a line of people behind me. I do get some help from my older son when he's able, but for the most part, if I'm not in there creating the listings, they're not going to get done. So what I've started to do is my listing goal is 15 a day. That's what I'm trying to list. So I started doing 20, as far as like taking 20 sets of pictures, creating 20 sets of listings. I'll only launch 15, let's say, but I'm starting to build that buffer by just doing a little bit of extra work each day, so that there's some left over, so that if something does happen where I get sick, or there's some days where some of these sourcing trips are longer, where it's tough to get those things done in the morning, or maybe I'm too tired by the time I get back. So my plan is to really try to continue to build this bank, so that I'm at a point where I'm always just launching listings in the morning. I'm not doing any just-in-time listings. And then if I do need to consume some of those days because of I'm sick or a vacation or anything like that, everything still continues to march on. Again, when this is if you want to do this as a full-time job, you want this to be your primary source of income, you can't have days where you're not creating those listings, right? That's the key to everything, is the consistency of the listings going up, growing your store, quality items going in. If you sort of turn that faucet off, that's going to kill your store. So that's my number one thing, is the draft bag. Number two is I'm looking to source higher quality items. And I know that sounds easy to say. I'm just going to find better stuff. But it's sort of a multi-part thing. So one is doing the work, when you're at home, to do the research on new brands, maybe brands that you were selling that you thought were good, that, hey, now, you're not getting the dollar amount for that you once did. So sort of analyzing your sales, looking out at the sold comps, seeing, finding new brands, digging into maybe lines within that brand that do better than others. So it may not be universally some new brand is great across the board, but maybe some subset of that brand is. But anyway, you want to do that research at home, so that when you're out, at the thrift, you have that knowledge in hand, right? You have that Rolodex in your mind. You're just flipping through and finding those things, because you just don't have time in the store to stand there and look up. Yeah, one-offs here and there, that's fine, but you got to do that work at home. It's a lot easier than standing there and trying to do it in the store, especially with more competition and all that sort of thing as well. So that's the first part. And then the second part, I would say, for sourcing is just branching out to new locations. So I've started going further than I've ever gone before. I've gone to stores that I haven't been to in a long time. Going directions that I've never went before. Switching things up, like maybe a store I always went to on a sales day because I was worried about keeping my cost of goods down. But you find if you go a different day of the week, maybe there's better stuff that's out, there's less competition, that sort of thing. So just tweaking my strategy, trying new things, trying like I said, different routes, different days, expanded area, just to try to find those higher quality, faster sell through, and higher profit per item pieces, because you just make it easier on yourself. The higher profit per item, the less items you need to handle, and it's a lot easier to hit the numbers that you need to hit, as opposed to the grind of dealing with low profit items where you're just trying to sell tons of quantity. It's a business model that is achievable and does work. It's just a lot harder. So I'd rather have a model where maybe I find some higher quality things, maybe just not as many. And the third thing I'm doing, for the next month or two, kind of try it out, is, like I mentioned, I already have markdown sales sort of on aged inventory, and we cover that in another video. But I just introduced some additional promotions just trying that out in my store this month. So just see if that drives a little extra traffic, generate some additional sales, and just doing that to combat the the slowdown piece, to see if that incentive helps drive some additional sales. So again, that's a sort of trial and error thing. Tweak the promotions, try them out, see if that makes a difference or not, on top of the stuff that was already running. But I just thought that was worth a try, during this sort of, potentially slower period. So that was really it. I hope that helps you guys. I just wanted to sort of explain, what my challenges were. Again, some videos, it's all sunshine and rainbows and everything going great, but that's not the reality of doing this, full time in any, way, shape, or form. You're going to have problems and issues. So I just wanted to call out, what my challenges were. And like I said, I think the things I mentioned could be applied pretty universally. And hopefully that helps you guys out, in your stores. So thanks again for watching. If this video was helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing. Maybe let me know in the comments, what you guys are experiencing, if you're seeing any summer slowdown, or any tips you have as far as things you did to help increase sales, when you had any challenges. So appreciate the support, appreciate you guys staying to the end, and until next time, see ya.